Hello again, it's Noob, and I'm really excited to be able to show off this Lockmaster Jackknife pick set that I've been working on with Vent for well over a year now. It really does take a long time to go from the design of a product all the way through to production and delivery, as I've found out. Now, I didn't design this lockpick set. The design was already pretty much there when I got involved in this project. As the note says on here, I was just involved in the testing and consultation, essentially designing and helping out with some of the pick profiles and doing various testing and stuff like that in the background. So I can't claim the design is mine whatsoever. But I do want to disclose that I was involved with this product and Vent, and I have worked with Vent before, probably will do in the future. They did send me this for the purposes of the review. It's not a paid advert, all thoughts on my own. I don't make any money off sales. Right, phew, that's all the disclosure I think I need to do. So yeah, this is a new Jackknife pick set from Vent, which is really cool. Like I said, this has been a long time in the making. It really has. And you can see that this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 profiles in 0.6 millimeters in thickness. I can't remember what that is, somewhere around 20 thousandths of an inch, something like that anyway. And it was hard to come up with the 7 that I thought would be best in this, and it's so hard to please everybody's taste, but I do think that this represents a good mix of things that people like. If I could squeeze one more in, I probably would have squeezed it in half diamond, but I felt that realistically the short hook and the rakes covered that off for the most part. So yeah, we have a snake rake, we have a triple peak, we've got a city rake or an L rake, we've got a short, medium, and let's say to medium to deep hook, and a deforest diamond. Hopefully at least 1 or 2 of your favourite profiles are in there. So as you can see, these pick tips fold in, and they do have a sort of sprung locking mechanism which is coated in this sort of black finish. The screws are one side as well, which is quite a kind of a nice touch. And whilst these aren't like absolutely locked down, they're held in pretty well by that mechanism. If you want to remove them properly, then you need to push down and just, well, you can grab all of them out if you want. So push down and just grab them all out, and then you can choose one you want. I don't know, let's choose the one I'm going to use the most, isn't it? It's going to be the short hook. And then listen, it sort of snaps in. What's happening there is it's holding this pick tip pretty firmly in. Now I think you could in theory force this back through, but to avoid damaging your pick, I just push down on this lever to put it back through like that. And again, once you've got something locked in place, it's pretty hard to get these other picks to budge out of the handle. Again, I'm sure if you whack it hard enough, ow, they would, but for all intents and purposes, they're pretty solid in there, as you can see. So that's a really cool sort of mechanism. Listen, so you can see it sprung just up there. Listen. Oh, sorry. There you go. You didn't hear it because I had another. Listen. There, that little click. You can sort of see how it works by looking at this spare tip. This is obviously a broken key extractor. That's for any jobbing locksmiths who might want to add one of those instead of a hook or a rake or something like that. And you can see that the way that these profiles work, I'm trying to get that the right way around. Yeah, so it's a bit like this. You've got one ledge, just keeping them nice and tucked in. When it's in this position, then you push down, turn it round, and then it locks in on the top position here. So yeah, that's how that works. What else comes with this kit? Well, it comes with a little loop if you want to put the loop round. So like on a keychain or a belt loop or something like that, so that's there. You also get, and this is kind of cool, I like this. When you open it, don't forget about this, especially get the black one and fling it out. You don't want to lose this. This is in case you don't want the little belt clip. You can, and you're a bit precious about having a gap. I know it's a small thing, but it's kind of really nice to have. Just this little slither of plastic which will fit in the place of the gap where this belt loop goes in, and it'll just make it look kind of nice and finished on this side as well when the belt loop or clip isn't in place, which I think is kind of cool. Obviously you get a hex key for loosening off. Actually, that's really tight, but yeah, you can loosen off these, and then you can obviously get. I think at some point you'll be able to get replacements or swap out, like I said, your pick tips. Or I'm thinking out aloud here, something I thought about doing myself, and no doubt somebody will get in there before me, but maybe even customizing these scales. That would be kind of cool, wouldn't it? To see if I can customize my own scales out of I don't know what exotic materials I come up with, but it's kind of cool that I've got those customization options there as well. You also notice, and let me just close that back up, push that down, you'll see that there are not one, but there are two tension tools here as well, again coated in black, and these just slide in to, there's a little notch down here, so that one goes in there and it's just sort of loose, and then this one sort of locks them both in. So that's quite tight on that side, and then you just push it down. Once it goes all the way in, you can sort of just clip it down into the don't know what you call it, the sort of little area at the front here. I'm doing a very bad job at this. There you go, clips in. And do you hear that little clip? That means that they are really held in. So again, ow. Then this side, less sides come out because I'm actually hitting them back in, but I just want to prove all angles. It really does hold those two tools in quite tightly. And then to remove, again, what you do is you just push down on the tip a little bit and lift up in the middle, and then they free up. So they are held in pretty tightly. And I find, I said, just lifting up the middle and pushing down, or pushing down, or lifting up in the middle and then pushing up, it frees them up. But yeah, they are held in pretty tight. I don't normally pay much attention to packaging, but I think the packaging here is actually just quite nice. It's it looks nice. It sort of has everything that you want all in a place. The only thing I would say is I would have probably liked to have seen maybe a little space for this, or a slot or something, instead of it just being loose here. But I guess that's a bit of a minor aside. But yeah, not bad. Looking at the tool itself, well, it's really useful having two tension tools. Most jackknives, not all, some have two, but most only have one. So it's really nice to see two tension tools. We have one which is more of a top of the keyway tool, which I'll demonstrate a bit later, especially good in Euros. It's quite thin, it's quite slim. Then one which is a little bit wider, and this is obviously more for a bottom of the keyway. So throughout the demos in a minute, we will only use these two tension tools. Is two enough? Well, I could probably draw up a list of 20 tension tools that I would have if I had to have a kit. But since it's a Jackknife pick set, I think two is pretty good actually. Although you never have enough, do you? In terms of the profiles here, they are very, very well tumbled. If we just look close up at the peaks and troughs, especially these rakes, you can see how nicely polished and rounded they are. These tempered spring steel pick tips are not done to a mirror polish or anything like that. They are a matte metal finish, as you can see, but like I said, they are well rounded and need no finishing whatsoever out of the packet. The handle itself, I think, is probably going to be the most divisive thing. Now, a lot of people, especially people who are into their folding knives, recognize how useful having a cast plastic handle can be. They're very durable, very light. They're tougher and slightly flexible. They don't mind water or grease, and of course they come in a range of colors and all those kind of things. So it's having a plastic handle to just provide that lightness and versatility is really, really nice. However, some people looking for a metal handle probably have a very clear design aesthetic in their head of what they would want from a Jackknife pick set, and again may look at a plastic handle and go, actually, this isn't quite to my taste. And I think that's fair. It might not appeal to everybody, whether it's black, blue, or whatever color event may bring out in the future. You may or may not just like the plastic handles. Personally, I like the change, I like the lightness, I like the comfort, I like the feel of this. It feels comfortable and well rounded and nice to use in the hand and on the fingers. On to demos then, and I really want to start out with this lovely ABUS 6040. You probably see me demo this lock a lot, and the reason being is it's a nice small keyway. It's got spool pins in it. ABUS have a pretty good quality locks as well, so it's just a nice one to start things off. I've got this short hook here. It's in 20 thousandths, so again just slides into that keyway really nicely. I'm just going through and picking any pins that I feel essentially need lifting. I can already feel that that's pin 3, 2 and 1 into that full set, so it makes me think, okay, who's left over then? And I think it's a pin at the back. Let's have a go. There's a pin there. Anybody else? Oh yeah, I can feel pin 3 there, pin 2 there, pin 1 there, and we're still not open. This is why I love this lock. It's like it's just fun, it's not one of those locks which instantly opens. It's got lots of spools. See that counter rotation? That's pin 4 there, and we're open. Look at that. Yeah, so this slim small pick, it just works brilliantly in these small keyways, even if you're taking up most of the keyway with a bottom of the keyway tension tool. So now I've got a 6-pin Euro cylinder with some security pins, and I'm going to be using this triple peak. I'm going top of the keyway here because I still think I should be able to get into a full set just by raking this lock like that. And then what I want to do is obviously press down on here, pull out the other picks. I'm just going to one-handed choose the I think I want a short hook, so again just going to swap over to that like this, hold that, flick that down. It's a little fiddly but very possible. There you go. So keeping the tension on, and then go in and try and find what pin needs picking in this lock. So I think it might be the first pin here. Yeah, I hope I don't slip off it. There we go. Oh, not bad, but we're not open. So, oh, hit pin 6 and we are there. So a nice bit of hybrid picking there. Swapping a tool as we go. Like, I genuinely don't use a lot of DeForest half diamonds. I don't know why, but this is a very typical American style keyway, nice and open. So I thought this would be a really good lock. Got lots of spools in it as well. I really like picking this lock. Genuinely, it's a great lock, this one. And I thought this would be a great lock to just be able to reach up through that keyway. Again, we're talking, it's 0.6 millimeters, so it's a really good thickness to be able to just work up through that keyway. Oh, you can see me reaching these pins. Can you see all that counter rotation? Like I said, this is such a fun lock again. All these spools in there. This is pin 6 at the back, I think. Is that 4 now? I'll just feel. There we go. Into a really nice deep falset. I'd love to see the spools in this. You can't take this lock apart, but it's here we go. But I think the spools must be very thin. They're just really nice. Lots of feedback. Really, really lovely lock, this one. I think I'd like to finish on this 16mm, pretty heavy actually, zone padlock here. It has 5 pins and they're security pins. They can be tricky to single pin pick, but this lock has pretty poor bitting. And what do we do with lots of poor bittings? We take advantage of them with things like city rakes. So let's have a go at that. And just keep that tension on nice and light. Just rock those pins, and hopefully we'll just get that sweet spot where the lock will fall open for us once we get everything nicely aligned. There we go. Oh, open. So there you go, a very quick little demo of me picking some locks with this Jackknife pick set. And I think it's time for some conclusions on this one. I'd like to try to think of the pros and any cons, and then what I like to do is even think about, what would I like to see in the future? Neither a pro nor a con, just sort of a wish list thing. So, pros, it's really light and comfortable. That's after using this for a while in anger and during testing. The one thing I got from this is it doesn't feel sharp or cold or heavy. It feels nice. It feels light and comfortable when you're using it, and it's a really nice length. I've got you know, medium to large hands. They're not like giant hands or small hands, somewhere in the middle, and it just feels nice. The picks themselves, I you know, help choose the profiles and you know, even help sort of design some of them. So I'm a little bit biased, but these profiles I think offer a really good range of different tools, and it's really good that you can swap the tools out. You know, add a broken key extractor, or if they release any different tips for it, you can add those in and customize them, replace any broken ones, you know, all that kind of stuff. That to me is really nice, that you can get in there and play around and change them up and swap the order and whatever you like, really. But yeah, I think that a big pro to this, apart from its customization capability, is just the nice range of tools you get in there. Is it the right range of tools for you and your style and your preferences? Hard to say, but I think there's something here for everybody. And certainly, you know, you've got your rates, you've got 3 different depths of hook. It's going to get you into a lot of locks. I really like the colour and style, that matte finish of this, and the screws. I really think I just feel it's really nice. And even though I'm not a fan of belt clips themselves, I think another pro is the fact they give you the option of changing that out if you want. Having 2 tension tools as well, that is just really nice. I mean, you never have enough, as I might have mentioned earlier, but 2 for a Jackknife pick set, really good, really good. Cons then, any cons? Well, I think the biggest con is if you don't like plastic handles on jackknives or knives or any tool itself, and you know, you prefer metal or something like that, then yeah, this probably isn't going to be for you. Any other cons? I know it's really small. I mentioned it earlier again. It'd be nice to have like a space for this in particular, rather than it floating around, just so it doesn't get lost. Really, again, you can just tuck it underneath this tool here if you weren't going to use it. That keeps it secure. Something like that would just be nice. Any other cons? I was struggling with this one, I have to say, and you know, I'm trying to be objective and not let my own involvement in this bias me. But I think that the only thing I could think of, which I wasn't like a, you know, I don't know how. Again, it doesn't bother me, and I know why it has to be like this because of the way the design works. But this tension tool, the top one, comes out a tiny amount from the end. I mean, the good news is they hold in really tight, and so do all the tools actually. You know, they don't flop out, and I love that mechanism. Oh, I suppose that's another pro, isn't it? This lever locking mechanism, it does hold in the tools nice and tightly. You know, you can force them. I will do it. There you go. It will come out if you really force it, but it does hold in pretty well. Let's do that again. Come on. It doesn't want to this time. Yeah, you have to. I just touched that and it helped a little bit. Yeah, I'm reticent to do it. It holds it in tight. In terms of things I'd like to see in the future, now I actually really like these plastic handles, and I like the black finish on this side. But I was thinking what would be really nice, and again, it's just my taste, and I really hope that Vent do this, is I'd really like to see one of these in a khaki green, you know, that kind of military green colour, with a black clip, fully black screws. I know, but I just really would like that. I'd also like to see one in a bright orange as well in the future. You know, like, because it's just easy to locate. A lot of survival tools are very bright colours for that reason. If you drop something, you want to be able to locate it, especially in low light conditions. So, you know, a really, really super bright orange would be really cool to have. I'm hoping that Vent have plans to release different tips as well that you can, expand and replace into as well. That'd be really, really cool. But other than that, yeah, I think that's pretty much my conclusions. Now, what does this cost, including all the packaging, etc., and not including postage, because that'll depend on where you are in the world. I suppose that the whole cost will depend on when you watch this video and exchange rates. But at the time of recording. This is €39.21, $40 or 33 pounds and 61 pence or thereabouts. So yeah, there you go. That was the Lockmaster Jackknife pick set. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, do leave me a like. If you have a comment about this, whether you like this tool, you don't like this tool, what you'd like to see, whatever you have, just drop it down below. I do read all the comments and reply to as many as I can. If you haven't subscribed and want to see more content like this, please subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.